I'm Sarah Grace. I am the other guitarist here.
I'm Bobby Smith. I sing.
And I'm David, and I'm the other guitar player.
other. And then we're missing Steven Smith, who plays bass.
And Henry Atherton, who's the drummer.
Plays drums. Well, Steven and I have been working on this project for a little while, and it's kind of been just a rotating cast of drummers and other guitar players that have, for one reason or another, just never worked out. And I guess about 3.5, almost 4 months ago, pretty much the core group finally all got in the same room together, and this is what we've been working on, with the exception of our drummer Henry. Yeah, that's been pretty consistent.
Kind of. I mean, it just got taken from some of our influences and stuff that we like to listen to. So I think Baroness has a song. Is it Baroness?
Torch.
Torch. I'm so sorry. Torch has a song.
It's a Torch song.
I don't think it's Torch, is it?
Yeah, it's
It is Torch.
Yes, it's
I'm a
Torch.
liar. So Torch has a song called Kicking.
Kicking.
Yeah. So we just were like, we'll steal it.
What about this? And we were all like, I don't really know.
Basically, we were like, well, we don't hate it, so.
Yeah. And the more
I
we
wasn't
say
here
it,
yet, so.
So Sarah didn't get a say.
yeah,
No
serious.
say.
All kind of gather around a song idea. From there, we're, I guess, fairly democratic when it comes to that. We kind of all tend to have a say-so and a voice. We tend to help each other write. I'll usually come in with an idea, like a riff or a guitar part, and Bobby will work on kind of the
Lyrics.
melody and the voice, and we will all
Just
build
kind
the
of
song.
Build around it.
Yeah.
We're like, what if we add this? No? Okay, what about this?
Yeah, kind of a trial and error thing.
Yeah.
And we also did use, we are in the process of releasing our first EP, and we kind of used the studio as a little bit of a writing tool. We went in with the idea that we were going to use the studio to help add some extra layers to this music. And then we were going to come back into the rehearsal space and figure out how to make it all sound good live. Yeah, that's kind of our creative process. And then we fight and the drummer quits, and then we all get back together. No?
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, we fight, a drummer quits, and then we all have to take 2 weeks off and come back.
Yeah.
Not really.
We go down to Vicksburg. A friend of ours, Scary Lick, is great. He does a lot of local projects, a lot of Vicksburg projects.
The Villa Roos.
The Villaroos. Yes, at the Villaroos, whatever social media.
Yeah.
But he's really, I mean, he's just awesome. The technical side of it.
Yeah. It's a fantastic studio. It's not an album. We're not really interested in releasing albums. This is going to be 4 songs that kind of represent where we are as a band right now. And once it's finished, we're going to play these songs and start writing our next batch of songs, and hopefully, by the fall, have 3 to 5 more songs, and we're going to go and record them and continuously repeat the process. So we're always kind of releasing new music, and we always have content for people to listen to and, keep up with us. It's boring having to wait years for a band to release an album.
Really highly involved since I was young. Had musical parents. Dad played guitar and sung all the time. Did a lot of choir stuff. Did and quit a lot of different musical instrument lessons, so that was fun. Not very good at drums, and by very good, like good at all. And I played guitar when I was young, and then kind of got out of it when I got more into like arts and digital arts and stuff like that. And then kind of got more back into it when I moved back to Jackson around 2011, 2012. So since then.
I guess since I was really young, I've always done choir and stuff. And then my mom got me a keyboard for Christmas one year. And I never learned to play it properly, but I was determined to learn the Moonlight Sonata because it was on Resident Evil. And so I just learned like the first part, and I was super proud of myself. And then I never touched it again, and I still have a keyboard. But yeah, I would also just like try to make up stuff and write little melodies and doodads in my head, and just played with some high school.
Weren't you in like a super pop band back?
Yeah, we were in a super pop band. I was in some like Strokes rip-off indie band.
No, I mean back in New
New Zealand. I was in a super pop band back in New Zealand. It was a high school thing. They had like they do like a high school search thing in the winter from like all the high schools compete around the entire country in the winter, gets like a recording album, and we got to regional finals in a little girl pop rock band. It was embarrassing because I couldn't drink back then, so my stage presence was a little lacking. So
what time is it?
what time is it?
15, 20 minutes ago?
Yeah.
I guess is when... No, I was always involved in music. My dad was big on, blues and jazz, classic rock, stuff like that. And then, being a rambunctious little kid, I discovered punk rock, and I got a guitar, and...
Shortly after, he got 17 more guitars.
Shortly after that, I got 17 more guitars. Like, I've just continuously... I have a problem. Yeah, I started as kind of like a younger kid, really interested in music and also interested in theater, and one kind of fed into the other. I couldn't really draw, I couldn't really paint, so yeah, I played guitar.
I'm going to be biased and say kicking, because I wasn't in the band yet. And it was the second show at Hops and Bananas. And the first one was awesome, great. Second one was awesome, great, super put together. Like, Bobby was super confident, everybody was meshing more. It was a jam. I was like, I guess I'll grace them.
All that beer.
All the beer.
Been to many local shows, so I don't here recently, so I don't know that it's really fair to say too much, but I think Bad Magic's been killing it.
Yeah.
Consistently seen them twice, and they're solid every time. And I think they're doing something right now that I don't think anybody else, at least around here, really sounds like them, and it's nice and it's refreshing.
Yeah.
Because when you're in Jackson's a relatively small area, and so sometimes with all the kids that do play, it can be the same kind of ideas and sounds coming out, and it's nice that they're not doing what anyone else is doing right now.
I guess that's kind of one of the reasons that I don't really care very much for like the whole idea of a scene, is because
you're old.
Yeah, because I'm old. Because I'm old, and punk rock was so much better when I was a kid. But I'm kind of like Bobby. I haven't really been to a lot of shows recently that I've just been like super pumped about. I have to agree. Like Bad Magic is a fantastic band that's kind of doing something different, and they're approaching even that sound differently, and they're kind of
got their own attitude.
Yeah, they've got their own attitude.
Yeah.
They've got their own like kind of sense of humor about it. Like they know what they're doing, and they know like just how to do it and how to make it interesting. And also just to kind of give back to you a little bit, her band that is no longer around, but Lisbon Deaths were a fantastic band. And I encourage anyone to go on YouTube and look up videos of Lisbon Deaths, because it's fantastic stuff. It's really good,
Speaking of that made me think of another local show. The last show that we did actually was with a local band and then another band called Ome from Chicago. And it's fronted by these two women, and that like just totally blew my ass out of my mind. It was insane.
Your ass out of your mind.
I was just watching them, just like just to feel like these two women with such power, and like they had, not only are they so technically good. I mean, one girl's playing electric violin and going back to her Strat, and the other girl, I mean, it was just insane. And they were using all these wonderful pedals, like all my dreams coming true, like vocal harmonies back and forth. Just the best, one of the best live performances I've ever seen in my life. And that kind of like inspired me, like just to move past the current project I was in to do something that I could be more like vocal in, kind of more like forefront in.
Yeah.
I do just want to say, I think Jackson as a whole in the music scene has a lot to offer, and there's a bunch of artists doing a bunch of different things and bands that are doing a bunch of different things.
I really feel like right now there are a lot of creative individuals in Jackson that are doing something different from the next and from the last. And I think right now the potential in Jackson is really kind of being tapped into. And I think that's kind of the way cities work and the way music scenes work, is like there are a few years of everybody kind of doing well, and then a chain of events and everyone kind of stops what they were doing and has to regroup and refocus and rebuild. And there are a few years where it's kind of quiet. And then again, we get to a point to where there's, you know, good bands and active bands and artists trying to do something.
So many similar bands, and then like so many different bands that we just didn't know what we were gonna sound like. And so then we just had to be like, well,
we
may
do some
fit
of this
into this.
stuff, and then, you know, shoegaze or noise rock all the time. But then we're also definitely not like doomy metal or like doomy rock and roll.
Yeah. We're kind of like, you know, doomy heavy rock, but like just slow it down.
I mean, it's
there's this pop aspect that kind of gets in there.
Just shoegazy thing.
Yeah.